All right, welcome everyone with Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Summertime Rendering, Episode 6. All right.
We're back.
They did the Giga Ultimate Strategy. Just,
Shoot me in the face.
Yep.
Shoot, face, fuck. I am so excited for him to kind of have this bird's eye view, patient look, plan time for the beginning of his next loop, where he's like, okay, take everything I've got.
Yep.
Go immediately to the suit lady. Just get this going.
But there's that part of me that's worried that he's going to go find Ushio first. And I'm like, no, fuck.
I mean, in some ways, getting Ushio first can set up the way to win everybody over as fast as possible.
Yes, that is very true.
There is an issue, obviously, if anybody sees Ushio, but then there's also the thing of, well, wait a minute, but if Ushio's been around all this time as a shadow, where was she? Was she just hiding from other shadows, and she's in her own like mini kind of fight here where she's like, okay, I can't be seen by anybody and I can't deal with shadows and stuff like that, so I have to be dealing with this. Well,
and
who knows?
If you found her at the beach and she didn't really know what was going on, then maybe you need to find her faster so that way she doesn't cause trouble.
I mean, true, but again,
all sorts of things.
Again, yep.
Yeah, but you got the ultimate download of information, though, in that last iteration.
We know the stakes. We know what we're up against. We know what their abilities are more.
Yep.
We know...
You know that Ushio is, in fact, a shadow.
We know what the deadline is. We know that Ushio is, in fact, a shadow.
We know
which of your friends so far are not shadows.
You know
we
the
know a way
origin
to
of the
identify
eye.
a shadow.
Yep.
We know how to, it actually be really fun.
The fact that he was able to see that, like, these people... were killed there, which means they weren't killed previously by shadows. Right. Cool, they're in the clear.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
fantastic.
I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see him kind of take this episode for kind of being the planning stage, and then next bit is go. We are on operation. Use time efficiently,
and also maybe in order to make sure that this doesn't get borked, don't go to the house or the funeral,
right?
Because that's maybe where you get copied, and then as an indirect result of that, they find out that you're a time looper.
Yep, good stuff. We're going to start the testing phase. I think this is where the show might either slow down dramatically or
I would
actually
be surprised if it didn't.
Or actually like accelerate in some ways but slow down dramatically in others.
Yeah.
But y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh, cool. Let's show this from her perspective of it.
Okay.
She stepped on a shadow and it moved.
Or she just could sense that that person there is a shadow?
No, I think she stepped on his shadow. Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm in one piece. Okay.
I love the opening visuals for this anime so much. The idea that every bit of script, every bit of everything is all part of a maze and he's just trying to find his way out to a good end. Oh.
Oh, shit. All right.
Is she already judging a little bit as to, like, what kind of person is probably going to be her partner?
And then she puts it together and is like, okay.
She's hyper observant, so this is good.
Yeah.
Getting her perspective here. Oh, this is the priest.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Oh, that could be really
this
good.
Be her contact, yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. She was a little shit. Huh? That's a complicated word.
Yeah.
Damn, okay. So that's her reason for being here on a personal level, not just a official, like, I've got stuff to do, you know? Yeah. Said Shinpei. Yeah. So she knows she's supposed to make contact with him. Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
絞められて抵抗したような跡があるって。
被害者の爪には犯人の血や皮膚片が挟まっていることも多い。牛尾ちゃんの爪は調べたのか？
いや。
不可解だな。
Oh shit.
似てると思わんか？あの時と。
Oh.
Shinpei's parents? Oh shit.
この死に化粧は誰が？
ひし形医院の看護師さんや。
Oh, that clinic, yeah.
冒涜しているのはどちらかな？
ヒズル。
Whoa.
ヒズル。
I like her militancy. She's just going.
牛尾は亡くなる前、ドッペルゲンガーを見たと言ってなかったか？
And saying that right in front of the girl.
Oh, her old friend. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
What if this was a shadow and it only started doing this because she mentioned doppelganger?
Yeah.
Oh, she's the mom.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Oh shit.
What is it crying about? Wow. Fuck. Yeah. Holy shit.
Oh my god. Okay, but that goes to show that they are good at actually faking emotions.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, of course they are. They have the memories. They actually have the memories, yeah.
But like there was always this dissonance and coldness that we've seen with the shadows thus far when they were revealed. Don't let it know. Now it's eyeing you specifically. Because it heard you say doppelganger.
Uh-huh. Oh, is that Nezu?
Or maybe the old guy?
Oh, yeah, it is Nezu, yeah.
Is that rare?
Well, I think it's the thing that they don't usually do that. Because they're setting up for the ritual, you know?
Oh, sure.
So it's the time that's important.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Secondary. Oh. Cool. Cool.
Okay, okay.
God, we've set up now so much stuff without even having a Shinpei perspective.
Nope.
Okay. So when is he deviating?
Yeah, I'm curious why he would want to stick to the exact same movements. Oh, because he doesn't know that she's already a shadow. Well.
Gotcha. So there's nothing. He's. I think he's worried that he's gonna get like noticed because of them, understanding that he was a.
But now he kind of told them that he knows.
しおりが影を見たってみおちゃんから聞いた？
あ、ええ、そうなんです。小さい頃。
Yeah.
この二人。
Yeah.
新平くん？
本物の三人はすでに。
Long dead.
どこにいるんですか、南雲先生。どんどん手遅れになる。
Right, and she's trying to avoid him.
お前、昨日履いてたパンツって白か。お前の昨日のパンツの真剣に知りたいんや。2週目に影見代に殺された時、偶然にもちらりと見えた。
Oh!
影見代のパンツは。
That way he can know when she...
しかし今朝のミ代のパンツは。
昨日はおちやの後ここに泊まって着替え確かに白やったけど、それが何？
ミ代がコピーされたのは。
So maybe that was the Flash?
それ自体を防ぐことはできない。
Meaning that Mio's already been done.
Right.
Before the.
Yeah.
そう。お父さんも知らんの。
Oh.
ほんま、どこ行ったんやろな。お姉ちゃん。
Oh shit.
ひずるに連絡先聞いたらこんなもん渡されてよ。私には意味がすごいよね。
Oh.
It's a message.
連絡先、南雲先生の。これは。
すまん、新平。ちょっとトイレ。
Oh, and you're never gonna see him again. He's gonna be swapped out there.
南雲先生の標着に出てくる解けない暗号、タマムシュット。
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice. Yep.
Rip. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
So was that her then that put the sign on the stall? Because the person had gloves.
Hold on. Look at the case. My man Nezu, he's packing heat.
Yeah. And that's how they'll save him from the shadow because... Nice. And it's actually her in there. I love it. I love it. Holy shit. And that didn't seem to hurt him? Oh, okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah,
I was gonna say. I love this girl.
This is incredible.
Okay. All right. It's a good question.
Ah,
cool.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Brilliant. Or
nice.
Someone that's got some kind of ability, right?
I like it. I like it.
Woo! Baby. He's just like, I am enjoying respectfully. Yep, he's telling his name.
Right.
Yep, yep.
私はロマン主義ではないが、あらゆる可能性を鑑賞してもこの結論に到達するのだ。今から述べることがビューケンならば正してくれたまえ。
Cool.
Okay.
今朝のフェリーで君は私を知らなかったな。私の正体は私から名乗る以外に知る術はないが。
Brilliant.
私はまだ名乗っていない。君は今日7月22日を体験するのが
All right.
Awesome.
何度も繰り返しているのではなかろうか。つまり君はタイムトラベラーだ。
Somebody finally knows. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
Oh, that was fun.
That was really fun. I love it. I love it so much.
This chick just carries around a sledgehammer.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna knock your shadow in the face.
Yeah.
You cannot sustain that much damage.
Nope.
Holy shit, y'all. We took so many notes from this episode.
Boy.
This episode got us wild in here.
Yeah.
So we got to have Hizuru's
perspective episode. Yeah. And I love that. It was the thing that I wasn't expecting because with like time loop stuff having non-time looper perspective that can get kind of wonky.
Right.
But I think that was a great idea because she definitely is the character that has the most knowledge of kind of what's going on and is
being an introduction formally.
Needs an introduction formally, but also in a lot of ways is being the most proactive out of everyone here.
Right.
Even considering that Shinpei's a looper. So it was very fun. It was a great way to keep the action high after the previous episode, even though I was very much expecting things to slow down.
Yeah.
You know, because then it's like, okay, you got to build your crew. You got to, you know, like set up all the scaffolding to be able to do shit. But no, because she already has all of that stuff figured out.
She's fucking been Batman.
Prepped. Yeah, exactly.
She's got prep time set up from, theoretically
14 years ago, yeah, exactly.
So we've got a bunch of introduced mysteries there that tie in some things together, but the big one here is that Nezu and her are working together.
Yep.
They have a very clear built-in relationship with regards to how things go, and the limited information that Nezu operates on shows that he is super committed to fighting the shadows.
Yes.
Because this is not just a thing that is part of this generation's fight. This is an older thing. We even had something built up with the idea that the shadow sickness was something that the great grandfather of the priest guy, the current priest, was the one that he named it. So he might have been where this whole thing starts as far as that goes. So we're dealing with some island lore here.
Yep. And one of the things that I love about this episode and how it all went is that we actually made a lot of progress.
We made so much progress.
Given how wacky and crazy things are with regards to the shadows and, how do you know they're shadows? Okay, you can look at the shadow, like, whether it moves and stuff like that. But it's so big as far as the scale of what's been set up, especially with the previous episode, that it would be very easy for it to feel like the protagonists are doing all of this stuff.
But they're spinning their wheels for the most part.
But they're spinning their wheels. We don't actually know if it matters, if they're achieving anything concrete. But no, we are figuring out ways to confirm, okay, yes, Shinpei, you are not a shadow, and we set all of this stuff up so that you could find us and all that stuff. We know you're a looper. We're already actively killing key shadows at specific times in order to keep other people from being killed.
Right.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Awesome. Like, that shadow's done now, right? Like, that's just one less shadow they have to deal with. So, great.
And then the only, annoying thing is that you can't just be like, okay, they're never going to copy him again.
Right. Theoretically, they could get made into a shadow again. But given that at the end of the festival thing, from the number of shadows that they were looking at, it was around, 11. a dozen and a half, somewhere between there, right? That's manageable, right?
Oh, I got you, because Mio got her head blown off. That's why you said 12 and a half. I got you. Oh. But yeah, this is a setup for how we can have our resistance to fight back against the shadows here. And it's not just something based around Shinpei's immediate decisions within the loops. It's also the decisions of characters who have come here with the intention to be ready to fight this.
Right.
Now, the big thing that was set up in kind of a connective bit is that while, we knew that the Kyokugawa family was all shadows at this point, it's good that Shinpei knows, but also it's really good that Shinpei now knows how easy it is to test whether someone is a shadow. So he went and saw an ant walk through there a little bit there, and the shadow just moved around it.
And also,
very easy.
Maybe since we know that there's stakes for each of the iterations because the time keeps moving forward, we already set up ways in which this iteration is going to be fucked. Because, Shinpei, you dumbass, don't talk about shadows in front of someone who you're pretty sure might be a shadow, right? Like, yes.
He just didn't know at that point. He
exactly.
wanted, because he's still operating on the I can loop, so he's wanting to know exactly when they become shadows, so he knows whether he can change it or not.
But by figuring it out in that way, when she did tell you about the whole thing of stepping on the shadows and all that stuff before, you just told the shadow at the beginning of this iteration that you know about shadows.
Which isn't that bad, really. It's just it's just something that puts them on alert for you, because then they're like,
right, exactly. You were able to try and pass it off with that deception role of like, oh yeah, no, it's just a story from a thing from a long time ago that my sister wasn't.
And we don't know
mentioned.
whether it succeeded or not.
We don't know whether or not it succeeded, but I will
Right.
tell you, I don't think it would pass the sniff test, because if you're passing it off as no big deal, then why were you bringing it up?
Sure, but he's already asking every single person at the lunch thing a bunch of questions as
Yep,
well.
yep,
So it's the kind of thing where it doesn't matter. He
Yeah.
literally asked probably at least 2 or 3 more shadows,
Well,
just by the nature of going around. Do you know what the shadow sickness is? Do you know what the
right.
shadow sickness? You
Yeah.
know what the shadow sickness? Eventually, people are going to be like, who's that kid asking about? Oh,
Yep.
that's the kid of Alan's, that came over here a while
Right.
ago. And then there's going to be 2 shadows that kind of look at each other and go,
Yeah, exactly. I would
Yeah.
love to see, even though this isn't what it ended up being when they had him go out into the courtyard and just stand there, because they were actually just testing to see if he was a shadow, shoot the shadow. I love the idea of him being used as the canary in the coal mine, because he's gonna do all this crazy stuff, and they're like, yeah, he's just causing. No, there's no finesse to it. It's not precise. It's just bumbling around.
That's
right?
why
So-
it's a 2-core show.
so
He has to do it badly, so it is he gets better.
push him
and
over there
He
and
ends up
just
floating
watch him.
higher and higher up into the sky, and he sees things from a bird's eye view. Eventually, he's going to see that the shape of the island is in the shape of an
a
ancient
hand,
symbol. Yes, exactly. But no, really. But the idea that he's now set up the means by which he can then become allies with Hizuru, who is actually also Nagumo Ryunosuke,
Right.
Which I love the
controlled
cool.
information to
Controlled
figure out what
information.
people know and things like that.
Right,
the idea
meaning
of
nobody should know that name other than my shadow. So-
nobody would know this. Right, nobody would know this phone number other than my shadow.
But
you know?
the thing is that by extension, she doesn't know how shadows communicate fully.
Sure.
So there's the idea that any shadow could theoretically know this. But if a shadow knows this, then that means that my shadow told them. If that makes sense.
Which means then I've been turned into a shadow, which is something that would be very good to know.
No, not I've been turned into a shadow.
I've been copied. Yeah,
exactly. Thank you.
Right,
Yeah.
copy, not steal.
Right.
Yeah. But then one of the other things that I really appreciate about this episode, in addition to all the progress and all the wonderful things that have been happening, we are also setting up additional plot lines, because there are new characters essentially that are being introduced. Yes, they were introduced earlier, but
now they're getting more focus.
They're getting more focused, so that way it's like, oh yeah, this doctor guy, and whatever the
he's got a
situation
clinic,
was with the nurse that did the makeup and stuff, or the priest that we're actually getting to interact with before the festival, where we weren't able to really actually talk with him and stuff.
Yeah, let me
it's
bring
like,
up this
okay,
part here when
like
he
that's
has
good
his-
stuff.
When he has his kind of
Right, you're
awkward
being
talk with
disrespectful to the
Hizuru.
body.
Yeah. No. Before
the
that,
priest.
in the beginning with the priest there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
Yeah, because he is like, oh, Minakata Hizuru, ain't you? Yeah. And then she, recognizes him immediately with the, yeah, you have a good eye, Karakiri Masahito,
Yeah, it almost seemed like it was setting up for like friendly banter kind of a thing. Except
code for contacting each other or something.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh
sorry.
no, I was
What
just
were you
thinking
gonna
it's
say?
just like it felt like comedy that just didn't really land for me. Where it's like the show's doing a comedic bit, but she doesn't really find it funny, and
I think it's just he had a childhood crush on her, and he would never forget her.
Sure.
She comes back looking gorgeous.
Right,
And he's just
right.
like, hey, you.
Hi,
And she's just
yeah.
like, yeah, she's like, I was never really interested in you kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's more the thing of why she can't stand him is because she probably did have, maybe a little bit of like okay, I don't hate you, but like,
Right.
your advances were so annoying that I, just kind of kept brushing you aside and stuff. But I liked the other thing of the way in which she brought up kind of Shinpei of the, wait, no, I can't interact with him. But then his parents, died in a boat accident 10 years ago.
Uh-huh.
We now have
we have
a
multiple
consistent
deaths
theme,
in the past.
deaths in the past, but also specifically, water, related drowning deaths.
Oh, that's true.
Just something to think about.
Although
as
we do
well.
have the thing 14 years ago, which was not drowning. But yes, so right, multiple.
No, I'm talking
situations
about
of
Ushio.
No, I know, but I'm
Okay,
saying
okay.
it's not. It isn't. That it's something that's worth noting because it's a similarity, but it's not something
But
that's
yeah, 'cause they're on
consistent
an
over
island.
all the deaths that have been
No,
established so
of
far. in
course.
the show.
That would be really
that would be then
really
like we
suspect.
absolutely need to take note of that.
Yeah, but I loved the fact that we got this little bit of perspective on the backstory of her, and seeing that she was already kind of coming up with this story,
right?
Of the the doppelganger is on an island and stuff, meaning that the original story that she came up with is something that she had already some knowledge about as a kid, back when.
Quick question. Did she mention the idea of the doppelgangers on the island in the past when she was a kid?
No, but she just said, long ago on an island.
No, right.
She was setting up to tell the story that she ended up writing.
Sure.
Because remember, this is the thing that's always got to be keep in contact here, is that the story has started a while ago because at some point Ushio makes contact with Shinpei through some kind of extra, means,
right?
Or what have you?
But not 14 years ago.
No. But the idea is that in terms of long time ago, it's irrelevant as to when in the calendar year it is. The idea is that she had gone through some long form of story to get to that point. I'm operating under the belief that she was a looper.
Ushio,
yes.
Okay, yeah, but what
she had to give
but what relevance does that have to Hizuru when Ushio was like a
because Hizuru was writing the story that literally is actual
Caleb, we don't know that she was actually writing that story. She was writing a story about people on an island. It totally could have been that, but I feel like if that's what they were wanting to establish, they would have done a little bit more than just on an island,
because
right? Because that could be that, like, that seems to me like it would just be like, yes, it has potential relevance to the story that actually got published.
Yes, I'm making
it could
a little
also
bit
just be the girl on an island that, of course, so she's going to write a story about people on an island. Fantastical things happen.
I think if you want to wait until they confirm it, that's fine. I am operating under that as a basis because we already know that she writes that story eventually, and it's so one-to-one as to the idea of the threat of these doppelgangers and stuff like that I believe she has known about this for not just, a small amount of time, but she's known about this since a long time ago.
Okay, so if that's the case, which I don't think it necessarily is, but if it is the case, then that means that that would potentially have influence with regards to why the actual Ryunosuke ended up being killed, because maybe it's because she knew about some stuff, she started writing about it or whatever, right? And then so
they kill someone that's not her? What?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't make any sense. No, I'm talking about the way in which the death sets her on the direction, on the course to then discovering the shadow stuff there. She has been doing what she's doing here for the purpose of solving that mystery.
But Caleb.
Yeah.
If the death is what sets her off to discovering the shadow stuff, which I do think is what happened, because that very much was the tragic backstory that galvanizes her onto this whole mission and all that stuff and yada, 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 right? That Ryunosuke had not died by the time she was, when she was interacting with Ushio and, I'm going to tell you the story about on the island or whatever.
Yes, but the idea that she could know about shadow-related stuff and then have it be confirmed by the death, it's not important as to whether she was in the fight when she's writing the book. It's the idea that she wrote based on a thing that was a folk tale that she knew about by that point. I'm not saying that she was literally setting up herself to be Batman by the time that she was, 14. I'm saying that she knew about the shadow sickness by that point. We already know that the shadow sickness is way farther than she is old. It doesn't make it be some stretch as to that she would actually know about it by that point.
No. There's knowing about the old wives' tale thing of the, there's this ghost story about the town versus knowing that it's more than just a ghost story.
It doesn't matter. The idea that she wrote about it shows that she actually did focus and care a lot about it.
Eventually, but not when she was a little kid.
But okay, so I don't get your resistance to why I'm making a little bit of a logic leap here.
Because you're making the logic leap with certainty, and I'm saying that you are like you admitted it as such, right?
I think it is so blatantly obvious with the way that the story is setting it up that I think that it's the kind of thing that yeah, you can have a little bit of a reasonable doubt that it's not that.
Okay.
But I think I'll be proven right.
Until being proven wrong, we should assume that it is kind of a thing.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense to just kind of go, oh well, it hasn't been confirmed yet.
Right. Simplest
yeah.
solution, Occam's razor. It doesn't have to be explicitly stated that
right. We always base our theories on a little bit of meta.
Right.
It's the idea that why is the priest in the story at all? Well, he's there because he's related now to the person who named the shadow sickness stuff. A long time ago.
Yeah.
He has old lore that's going to be important at some point in the story. That is entirely based on meta suppositions and stuff, but it's the kind of thing that we can almost say, because of the kind of knowledge we know about stories, that's 100% going to be relevant at some point.
And it was even stated as the theory previously by the characters of, maybe he'll know something that can be done about it.
Right, totally. So
Yeah.
I'm just taking a little bit of an extra leap more than that in this specific area, because the story is focusing on her as if she's a main character here. We are getting first person perspective here. We are getting past related stuff here. This is not the only time we're going to focus on her past, because Ryunosuke is a character that died. So we don't know who he is yet.
So given that, what would you say is the things that then we can infer as a result, if we assume that, right, that would be helpful, relevant, etc., to the current situation?
Right. It's the kind of thing that it was important for her to write this book. The book being written sets up Shinpei to be able to have the code. Then be able to have.
No, but the question I asked wasn't a rhetorical one. Like, it wasn't rhetorical. The fact that she had specifically was already writing this book about shadows back then, if we're assuming that that's what the book was, right? It wasn't just some random story.
Yeah.
Then if she wasn't already going Batman, right? Because the death hadn't happened that truly turned her into, like, Batman, I'm going to make this my mission, right? Then what is the things that we can glean as a result of the fact that she was still writing the book before that?
Before she knew that there was a real conflict.
Yeah, that like a real immediate.
This is a multi-generational conflict. The idea that she would be interested in these stories means that someone told her the folktale with intention.
Okay.
And this is my point, is that there are not, Shinpei is not the first looper.
Sure. Maybe Nezu talked with her about it as just there's this story, let me tell you a tale, because if he's old, theoretically, the thing that would probably be able to be assumed is that he's known about this for probably a long time,
Right. But the way that this story gets the most interesting to me, because Ushio handed over the thing that is giving him the ability to do that. It is not an unreasonable assumption to think that Ushio had the ability before she gave it to him.
100%.
And thus, someone also who wasn't Ushio, eventually you get back to the point where they stole it, or they lost it, because they make the point that it's not that.
It didn't say that it was taken. It said that it was lost.
Which means at some point there's probably been, over the course of history, many people that have looped up until the point we get it to Shinpei. And thus every single point in the past can be looked at as someone that resolved to go on that timeline to get to this point.
Well, and
that's why the story is too core, is that it's not that it goes forward farther, it actually goes backwards farther.
And with regards to if she was writing the story about the shadows back then, before the galvanizing event of Ryunosuke dying, that potentially gives additional context to the fact that she said something very interesting in that scene, where she screams out Heine, which is what we heard her say when she was looking at the mother shadow, in the previous episode. So if that's the case, was it was Heine someone else that she knew back then, or did she already know that the mother shadow is called Heine?
See, that's now you're thinking with portals. That's the kind of stuff that I'm just generally operating on when I'm making these theories, is that her saying Heine doesn't make sense when she's 14 or 15.
It's an additional mystery to make us want to watch the next episode, because as it answers questions, which it answered a lot in this episode because it gave her perspective, now we need to keep setting up more questions so that way we keep watching, because this is very much that mystery thriller kind of deal.
Yeah, it's the kind of way that you invest people by drip feeding good progressional info that doesn't just give you progress towards the truth, but it's the info that actually progresses the plot by characters being made aware of this, because we can be made aware of something that the audience is not. But if characters are shown to be aware of something to just the audience, meaning like this is something that is told from an omniscient perspective.
Right.
That means it's really important that we get that information now so that we can then follow up with that later.
Have context for all the times that the characters don't know that.
Right.
But we do.
Right.
Yeah.
It adds to the thrill specifically.
Sure.
Is when the characters know less than what we do.
This person doesn't, the dad that didn't know that he was about to be murked by a shadow.
Right.
And then she does the whole sledgehammer thing and he's just like, wait, what was that loud
noise?
sound from the stall next to me? Yeah.
And all she has to do is walk out, take the out of order thing, put it on the stall that she was on.
Right.
And then leave. And he's probably just like, okay, that was weird. And then he goes over and is like, oh, out of order. Sure, there's probably
there's a big hole there, but I heard that hole probably being made, but
why would it be made?
Yeah.
So I think he probably just goes, okay, that was a little unnerving, but your mind fills in the blanks with regards to what would be the least scary thing for you.
Clearly, no one just brought in a sledgehammer and just smacked to the ground for no reason. So it must have been something else.
Right, but that was a good good discussion bit there, because we are now fully in her perspective, Hizuru's, in that she knows who's a shadow, who's not.
Yep.
She's very much emotionally can't stand the idea of these shadows being able to mimic people so well in this regard.
And the emotions as well. And that's something that, even though it's assumed that they would be able to do that, because if not, the shadows would have been discovered a long time ago. Because just people would see somebody and be like, why are you acting so strange, right? But actually seeing them do it actively while, engaged with somebody that they had an actual emotional tie to, not just some, stranger, acquaintance, that's a whole other level of unnerving.
Yeah, I do find it also rather interesting, and I hope Hizuru explains it in the next episode, of why she left the island at all. And I get the vibe that it's so that she could operate in such a way. Eventually, she comes to this conclusion that operating in whatever way that she has been prepping things away from the shadows, because the shadows are probably localized on this island for probably the ritual reason.
Go someplace where she'll be safe and won't be killed by the shadows.
Adopts a new identity.
Adopts a new identity.
Yeah.
Be able to operate in such a fashion so that the shadows won't ever find out what she's doing, because she has to work from secrecy, because it's a cat and mouse knowledge game. If they know that she's doing all of this stuff, then she loses her edge, right? Like, just the thing of the stepping on the shadows to confirm whether they're a shadow, that alone gets all kinds of risky if a shadow suspects that you might know about them, about shadow's existence, because they're needing to consciously move their shadow away. And if it's because of something that you did after you talked about shadows, then they know that you're checking them.
Yeah,
probably.
but we're okay, because we know that now, based on this, the shadows do not retain any info of previous timelines.
Right.
The fact that they found out he was a time traveler,
and then we go back and
didn't change anything based on him doing the exact same thing beforehand, means then that no, he's the only one that can alter the next iteration of things by his actions. So he's fine in that regard. But you do need to eventually figure this out, because you don't have a limitless number of time loops.
Yep.
But he now knows someone that knows what he knows.
Right.
So. This is an absolute win. This is a huge step in his direction here. Nezu and Hizuru will be allies.
One thing that I'm still curious about.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been established yet of how she's able to know things from other timelines. There's certain things that's set up of like the cell phone number and all that stuff where it's if somebody knows this, then they must be a shadow because they got the information in some weird way. But as far as like his name and knowing to avoid that, or that she should, like all of that kind of stuff. I think so there's potentially a lot of really juicy information that we still need to get from her.
Oh yeah.
And probably from her perspective of the way in which she's been able to be equipped to actually deal with.
Right, that's what the next episode is going to be. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's something that we're set up properly for in the next episode. And now we can have a good conversation, and we don't have to worry about running out of time, because at any point now, since she's on his side, she has the gun card that can immediately set things back.
Yep.
And they can also choose to milk the time that they have until they're like, okay, cool, let's reset.
Yep.
Boom, done. This is extremely good progress.
Oh yeah.
The only thing that can really fuck this up is one or any of them becoming shadows in the middle of things here, and then going to a point where we reset after that's been done. And thus, you know,
and
we
then
have
you
less
just
time
lose a
to
party
work
member
with.
forever. Yeah.
You lose a party member forever, or at the very least, you end up having less a time to maneuver with it, because if you set them in that they've been copied based on your actions, then you have a shadow that's out there, even if they haven't been replaced.
Right. It's a deadline to either kill the shadow or lose a party member.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But wow.
Fantastic episode.
Fantastic
so much
episode.
fun.
Really good stuff. I love shifting perspective through first-person POV of a side character
and
to give us more info.
Let's be real, the most interesting of the side characters so far.
Oh, you gotta give
Like,
by a
hands
world,
down,
not even
by
close.
a mile.
Yeah. Obviously, there's really interesting stuff with Ushio.
Yeah,
Obviously,
and like
there's
just
really
general
stuff with
emotional
Mio and
conflict
everything.
stuff. But,
emotional conflict.
But as far as
the
main
world,
plot,
yeah, not even close. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out my Persona 5 Roll Let's Play on Twitch. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
Next time.